Okay, so it's raining like crazy here. It's been raining all afternoon, and I've been out in it. So that's the look that I wasn't necessarily the look I was going for, but it's the look I ended up with this evening. And then I'm on here by myself. I can't see anybody's face. I can only see my own face. So I'm going to dive right in. This is not going to be a super long call. At least that's my anticipation. Jetty and I have been out of town for our 21st wedding anniversary. Hey, Linda. Yay, I could see somebody. Um, so we've been out of town for our 21st wedding anniversary, and we got back in town earlier today, and then I had some cool, exciting things happen this afternoon that I'll tell you guys about in a little bit. Before we do that, I'm going to jump in, share a couple things. First of all, if you weren't with us last week, or even if you were and need a reminder, Jetty is hosting an activity challenge, and it starts on the 10th. And he put all of the parameters if you want to join in. It's going to be fun, you guys. Like, I'm even going to do it. And like, who was it last week? Was it Michelle? I think it was Michelle said that she had just done some mechanic work. She said she'd just put a rear end into a recliner. And so I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, it is on. Oh, he's created a page for it. If you need to be if you're wanting to participate and you met all the criteria, and you, in fact, I'll just stick the link to it in my alumni group as well, but you have to meet the criteria in both pages, okay? So let me know if you guys want to participate that are in the alumni group. It's a group, a separate group that he has put together. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really gearing up for it and excited about it. So that starts on the 10th. There's no reason for everybody not to get some activity in, right? This is the time of year when we seem to slow down on activity or actual activity. Seems like we get to do all the Christmas parties and all that kind of stuff, but like getting out and swimming and that kind of stuff seems to slow down. So we're not going to let that slow us down this year. Also, next week, Jetty and I are going to be at corporate. We are doing some vision casting meetings, and we're excited about that. So we hope to come back with some really fun and exciting news on our call next week. Hopefully, we get back in town on Wednesday, and so I hope to be able to do the call next Wednesday. We'll be in Arizona for 2 days, I think, next week. And so anyway, 2 or 3 days, like parts of 2 days and one other day. So anyway, I'm excited about that. It's been a while since I've been out there, and actually it was earlier this summer that I was out there, but it's been a while since I've been out there for something like this, and I'm excited. One other thing, today I bumped an old post. It might have been, I think it was for you, Linda. Did I bump that post for you? Is that right? For a testimony? And I've gotten people are asking me questions. They're like, I didn't know this existed. And so I felt like I needed to touch on that. That's basically a thread that I made, years ago. And I don't know if all the links are still clickable. If compliance made me hide them or take them down, then the link won't be clickable. But did you find several clickable links, Linda, or were most of them not good links? Do you know?
The ones that I was referring to for the RA, most of them were. The ones I couldn't do was the one from your stepdad. That's just
okay.
One. So most of them, yes. I found up stuff on ADHD, autism. Those blew me away. I didn't realize that it had gone that far back. When I joined, I thought this was just one of those things that was new, but apparently it was way before I even got in Plexus. So yeah, that floored me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad I bumped that. I'm glad I bumped that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. When we started with Plexus, I'm just gonna tell you a little bit of history now. Nobody, and I can't stress this enough, nobody knew what Plexus was capable of. The very first event that we went to We met people who were outranking us in the company, but they had no idea. This is the way it was happening. It was unfolding. I can't explain well how this was like a hand of God type thing. The way that our products work together was not planned. You would think it would be planned, but did you guys know that the name of our company is the name of the company is what was actually connected to cell phone accessories at first. I mean, back before cell phones were even the kind of phones we have now. And then basically it turned into a breast check kit company. And then the way the products came in, the stories behind them will just make you just be like, I cannot even believe this. And I was one of the first ones who started like it. It was a part of my personality that I don't tap into very often. But because of what had happened with my brother, I was super interested to figure out why this was fixing everything for everybody. Like, didn't make sense. And so I was digging, cross-referencing ingredients, taking what people were telling me was happening for them. And I was literally pulling information from everywhere. Actually pretty obsessive about it for a solid 2 years. It's pretty much all I thought about. Would go to bed with a book in one hand, my phone in the other, referencing, trying to figure out, because it wasn't readily available from the company. Okay. The information, there was no training. There were no YouTube videos. And I'm taking us back a little bit because there's a shift happening company-wide, corporately and in the field, a shift happening that I can feel that's kind of more of an atmospheric shift that's going to be very good. And there is some sort of a atmosphere that had tried to come in and settle in of kind of a defeat feeling for a lot of people about, I don't know, about their businesses, maybe about their health. I'm not sure. And I feel that that's all shifting right now. I'm prophesying that it's shifting. And here's the thing. Corporately speaking, and maybe you guys can help me shed some light on this. Corporately speaking, we have almost every dream come true. Like all the things that we have prayed for, like we just wish we had training that we could access online. Bing! Wish granted. We just wish we had a more, succinct system. Send, share, invite. Bing! We just wish we had a way to keep up with our whatever. All the things. Everything we've ever wished for, hoped for, prayed for. And it's happening corporately. And whatever it is that's still an underlying, like something's missing or what's going on, I believe that feeling of what's missing or whatever is about to shift for everyone unless you decide to stay there. Does that make sense to everybody? Like you can still stay there if you want to, but you're going to start seeing people within this team. So it'll be right in your face, basically. You're going to see rank advancements and celebrations and all the things happening that have seemed to have been a little bit on pause for some. And you'll either choose to embrace that and go with it, or you'll feel like you got left behind. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like we haven't been through a season that people felt like they were getting left behind. Not in a while. But it's here now. And so I'm just putting that out there. I'm going to say also about the thread. About the thread that I posted, I'm going to ask everyone who uses that thread not to comment in the thread. Not to comment on the post in the thread, because commenting on them rather than sharing them forces them through the news feed again, and people start seeing it and commenting, and it causes, every time that happens, it basically puts that whole post at risk of me having to take it down. If it goes through news feeds again and starts circulating and someone turns it in or whatever, the web crawlers pick it up. So instead, if you would want to screen capture it and send it to someone in a private message, or if you want to click the share and copy the link, and let them read through testimonies, but I don't want people being tagged. Is that okay with everybody? Everybody cool with that? All right. I can share it. It's just in my team page, but I can share it in the other group as long as everybody knows how we do this, okay? It's full of, what it is it's full of testimonies from forever, where people would say, basically I would ask on my wall, hey, who has gotten relief from the following? And people would just share their testimonies. And mostly what we were looking for was, first of all, validation to what I was saying. Yeah, people got relief from that. And secondly, we were looking for what they took, like what was their regimen? How long did it take? Those were the kind of questions that I wanted answers for, those questions from lots of people, and I have it. But I also wanted, what am I trying to say? I wanted lots of feedback, basically, is what I'm saying. I wanted lots of feedback from lots of people to validate that what I was saying was true. Can you get relief from this? And then you could go read all these different people commenting, and then you could find out how long it took them, all these things. That's what I was looking for. And so I finally, it took me forever, made it into a list where you could see categorized and alphabetized. So, okay. We're going to call that thread, and this is going to be the theme of this Zoom. And actually, I'm going to call the shift that I've been dreaming about this shift. I've been feeling this shift. I knew it was here. I'm going to call this shift the problem you solve. Okay? Because there is a distinct difference between selling Plexus, sharing about Plexus, whatever it is that you think that you do, and presenting yourself as a problem solver. Did you know you could put out a post that says something like, you could put something out, an article about maybe leaky gut, and see what kind of feedback you get. You could put out an article about an autoimmune disorder, and as people start weighing in, that's the people you choose from to decide whether you want to send any of these testimonies to. Do you guys like that approach? Yeah. That's basically how I did my business from the very beginning. Share information, share about a problem that could be solved, and the problem you solve. Sharing about the problem that you solve, and then when people, you don't say that you solve the problem in the post because, oh, I might put an article up about the gut-brain connection. Did you guys know this? Or have you guys ever seen anything about the gut-brain connection? And then you could even list, especially if it's in the title, a specific disorder or whatever. You could just say, have you guys ever seen, did you guys know anything about the connection between the gut and arthritis, for example? And post the link to the article, or you could just ask that question, basically, and see what people say to you. And from the comments, that's who you choose, because people who have arthritis are going to stop and read that. They're going to be like, what is she saying? And then they're going to be like, well, from my experience, what happens is, and then I go take a steroid and then it goes away, or I go get injections, or whatever they tell you. Different people are going to tell you different things based on their own experience. But that's when I would go to them and in a private message would say, hey, would you be okay with me sending you a link to where you could go read some stories of people who had something similar to you and they found a natural approach that worked? Yeah, I'd be sure. Okay. And then you send them a link to those testimonies. The specific, you wouldn't want to send them the whole thing. Grab one of the posts, the link to it, and send it to them. You guys following? Okay, good. Are there any other questions on that particular thing?
Sorry, Lori, I'm not typing fast enough before you move on.
That's okay.
And apparently my fingers are messed up. Okay. So that post that you were talking about that you tagged Linda in, is that on your butterfly page?
That's what I'll share it in our other group too.
Okay.
I don't think I ever have shared it. I don't know if I have or not, but if I one way or the other, I'll get it over there. Just
Okay.
Y'all remind me, okay?
Yeah, because I think you should just probably be able to copy and paste the whole thing so that even if the links don't work anymore, they're still, they're still clickable or whatever.
Yeah,
But,
that's
okay.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so as long as everybody's playing nice and using those links appropriately, I'll be able to leave them out there. But I can't risk losing all that information to the compliance gods, so to speak. So we just have to make sure that we're just sharing them the way I have set it out. So far, we've not ever had any problems doing it that way. So, okay. Yeah, they are so good. They are. Every time I go read back through those, my heart gets a little bit excited about the shift. Because that's the capability we have in our hands. We have complete total transformation for people in our hands, and that's what I love about our business. So anybody have any questions about the stuff we've covered so far? And so far, literally, this has only been like 15 minutes, but I've shared a lot of information. Yep. Agreed. I have it in a Word document somewhere. I'm not sure if you're saying that I'd be worried about losing it, or you're just saying everybody should copy and paste it. Yeah. What happens is if one of those posts gets flagged, I just have to go set it to where nobody can see it that post anymore. So that when I was saying lose one, I have to set it to private. Like I would still have access to it, but none of you guys would ever be able to see it again because I have to turn it to where, it can't be seen anymore. So they're old enough that they're fine. They're old. But also, if I start asking for stories again, would you guys be willing to? I mean, I have enough of a platform that I can ask for stories and get a ton of them. I just have to get back in the habit of doing it. And secondly, when I put it out there, you guys have to help me push it through the algorithm. Like, even if you just post a smiley face or a GIF, I'm not sure how you say that word. Okay, that's ease. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's how old, right? That's how old some of these were. They say fast relief. That's funny. Yeah. I hadn't thought about that. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something that just happened. And I don't know if this happened today for a reason. Not just happened. It happened maybe 4 hours ago. I don't know if it happened today for a reason. I do know I feel like I'm supposed to share it. But I just went and did some healing stuff on a friend of a friend. And I didn't know this lady. But I'm keeping her story. I'm not going to say who she was in case there's a local person on here or whatever. Her story should remain private because I'm about to tell you some private information and I don't want anybody to know who I'm talking about. So I'm just leading with that. But this was a woman who's, she had some sort of female work done. I think she said a hysterectomy. I'm not sure if it was full or partial. That part I didn't catch. But whatever it is that holds everything in the right place, I'm showing you like this, but it wasn't that way anymore, and things had dropped. And she was having all kinds of problems, pretty severe pain all the time. Anyway, within a matter, and I'm talking 16 years of pain, 16 years of a constant 6 to 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. And hurt really bad when she would pee. And I'm not trying to be too graphic. I'm sorry, but I feel like I'm supposed to share this. Anyway, when we prayed over her, it all shifted. Everything. She keeps texting me tonight saying, I can't believe, this is so hard to believe that I don't have any pain. It's the first time in her in 16 years that she hasn't had to go through a nighttime ritual that was like, she'd get home from work. She said it was hard to cook and clean. She said she'd go get home and she would have to go through this whole like hot bath, cold bath, hot bath, put oils everywhere and everything just to be able to get to sleep. And